This past month, something big happened for me, not only as a producer, but for our new company, Sauceware Audio. Got a placement with the wonderful Wondagurl, one of my favorite producers, but not only that, all of the sounds that I used in the production were entirely from Octave Deluxe, which is just crazy to me. To think that I got a placement using the plugin that I created a year ago is just, it's hard to describe. The record is SSGKobe, it's called Again. Today I'm gonna open up my FLP and show you how I used Octave Deluxe to contribute to the record. I'll also show you some of the tips and tricks that I think will help you get your first or your next placement, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Sauceware Audio, what we've been up to, the behind the scenes of Octave Deluxe, and our next plugin coming this summer. There's a lot to unpack, so let's hop into the project file and I'll show you some of these sounds. Before I actually create the sounds, I put them into Contact and I work them. They kind of go through like a quality assurance before they make it into the plugins. If I can't make a sample or a beat or something like that with the sounds, then they don't make it into the plugin, any product that we do as a company. And that's why I bring them into Contact first, so that I can actually have a chance to use them months prior to when the plugins are released. So we're gonna go into the first sound, and I just love the sound. So this is, it was originally called Harag Swag. My dude Harag, who did all the guitars inside of Octave Deluxe, he also did some of the other sounds with his Prophet. Of all the placements, the ones where I tend to be a producer and really get deep into the production and start adding, I haven't been able to get placements off of any of those things. I think this is a great example of a sample and some sounds that had a lot of space. Specifically this bell sound, like I said, it can be full, but it's really, really light, and I think that's why Wondagurl was able to put such dark, deep drums underneath it. So this sound, when I first made it, it was called the KBZ Pluck. I think it got its name changed. The melody is extremely simple. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. And that's why I think the counter melody works so well with it. So let's hop into the counter melody and I'll just show you. Again, another one of those sounds where I was instantly just like inspired. I love this sound. I still use it a lot. This combination of these three sounds, and we'll get into that in a second, just work really, really well together. But when you start playing that melody with this melody, just listen to how well they work together. Especially right here. Dun-dun-dun. And you can even see when you're looking at the patterns, when this is just kind of blank space, that's where the movement's happening here in this other melody, and when this is blank here, that's where the melody is happening in this other counter melody. And that's just like a really easy way, guys, when you're putting your melodies and stuff together, to make sure that they're not kind of stepping on each other. But then when we put everything together, this is what it sounds like. So the sounds, I'll go to Octave 2 just to kind of let you know what the sounds are that you should be looking for. So Harag Swag is still Harag Swag. Those are that. If you're looking for this really fun kind of lead sound, it's Flute Let It Run. Really cool. And then if you're looking for what was the KBZ Pluck, it is now in the vintage section and it is called the Union. So you can go and find those sounds, and what I do after I create a sample that just works really good, especially if it got me a placement, I know for a fact I need to go back and use these sounds. I think sometimes as producers we think, hey, we always have to reinvent the wheel, and I think that's great. That's where some of the best ideas have come from, but I do think for just actually getting the work done and getting these loops and stuff off of your laptop, sometimes it's best to kind of go to a proven remedy, a proven template. What I would suggest that you do is you actually go and save these sounds. So what I would do is with these three sounds, I would come up here and I would go save preset as. I would label this as the chords, Harag Swag, and I would go through and I would do that with the leads and the melody. So that way I know which ones are chords, which ones should be for the bass, which ones should be for the top line, the melody. And then when I'm moving forward and I am having one of those days where I'm really low on inspiration, I can come to kind of a proven recipe. So Big Band Stacks is a sample and a beat that I love. And one of the sounds, this steel drum, I'm just gonna open this up. See what happened there? It opened up as a patcher effect. And now I have my contact instrument, my patcher effect, and everything all routed together. And now that it's routed together, all of the sounds are going to be exactly how I want them, with the harmonizer happening, the J37, and you could have halftime, you could have whatever you want. You can actually save the sound with all the effects, and it's all just right there in Patcher. So if you're interested in doing this, guys, all you need to do is open up your Patcher tool. The next thing that you want to do is, let's just say in this case, it was a contact instrument. We are going to add a plugin. Obviously there's a huge list here, so we'll open up, actually, let's stick with Octave Deluxe since we're using it today. Okay, let's just say that was the sound that we wanted to use, but then we had a bunch of kind of manipulation happening in one of these channels. Let's just say this was the sounds that we wanted to put on it. What you can actually do is you go and you hit save as, and you drag and drop the instrument there. So now that J37 with the exact, all the knobs turned exactly how you had them, instantly gets dragged over here. And then all you have to do is just route it to the J37 and then out to FL Studio. Instead of just saving yourself that Octave Deluxe sound, now you have the Octave Deluxe sound with the J37. And once that is all finished and saved, then what I like to do is I come down here and I'll call this like chords, and I'll give it the name of the instrument. For right now, I'll just call it It's D, I don't know. And then we'll come down here and we'll actually open it back up, go File, Save Preset As, and now if you save that FST file into your combinations folder, it's not only going to save as the instrument and the sound, it's going to save with all the effects routed to it. I kind of believe in what Illmind always talks about. He talks about lottery tickets. So you shouldn't just make a beat, you should make a beat, mute all the drums, reorganize it, and also export that as a sample. You should do these combinations so that they're quickly just grab in, throw into any template and be able to kind of work on the spot. Basically, you want to work, how's it going? You want to work smarter, not harder. And for me, I think the biggest thing is just getting the sounds off of the computer. So for this, I actually created my own beat with this loop back originally. So I'll just play some of that because I think it's pretty interesting to hear where Wondagurl took it and where I originally had it. So I kept it really, really simple and just kind of followed the melody, but my beat didn't go anywhere. If I would have just kept this as a beat and just continued to try and shop this as a beat myself, you know what, maybe my drums aren't slapping, maybe they're not hitting. They're definitely not hitting the same way a Wondagurl track is hitting. And so this opportunity, this chance for me to get this placement with SSGKobe or anybody wouldn't have happened if I would have just kept this as a beat. And that truly is one of the biggest things that I've learned since my first placement just over 2 years ago with Russ, is that relationships are extremely important. The bigger your network, they say, the bigger your net worth. And in music, the bigger your network, the more chances and stuff that you have to get placements. But I think what is really, really important and something that we all need to focus on, and I need to tell myself this too, is that we need to get the music off of our laptops. We have too many amazing beats that if we just would have muted the drums and reworked it and sent it to some of our close collaborators, maybe that's a Drake placement. It's like you literally have a chance to wake up every day and hit export, 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 and all of those are opportunities for you to not only fulfill your dreams, but have like a successful career in music, doing what you love. And at the end of the day, that's what we're all aiming for. So I'm gonna go and grab a coffee, and then I'm gonna get back into it because I want to tell you all about Sauceware audio and what we have coming from the next plugin, which is really, really special. Coffee. When Octave started, it was just like the seed of an idea. I wanted to get it onto 100 producers' laptops. And to be quite honest with you, I didn't think I was gonna be able to do that. I thought like my friends would support me, but outside of that, I was like thinking maybe 10, 15 people would use this. And it's hard to say because it's just kind of overwhelming. 8,000 individuals right now, 8,000 producers are using Octave to make music and have opportunities that just happened to me with the SSGKobe and the Wondagurl thing. They're creating those opportunities for themselves using this plugin that I created, and that is just like a feeling, I can't even describe it really. It doesn't feel like a placement, it doesn't feel like anything that I've ever done. And in the support that the community has given me, it's really made me open my eyes and realize how much of a need that there is for more technology and software products specifically for rap producers. And that's where this new idea for our startup called Sauceware Audio has been birthed from. The reason that we exist as a company is so that we can provide the next wave of inspirational producers, that's you, all the producers in the community, with really efficient, effective, and fun tools that they can use in their production. I think on top of that, from a community standpoint, we want to be a bigger player in the community space. We want to help bridge the gap and just connect the dots between some producers and artists and other industry vets, because ultimately those are the relationships that I was talking about at the start of this tutorial. Give back to the community, because that's what this is all about. I know in my own journey, watching the BusyWorks beats, DJ Pain 1, Producer Grind interviews, Illmind, like all that stuff has allowed me to grow leaps and bounds. And we want to be a part as a company, be able to give back and be able to do that for the next Jacobs and the next other producers that might want to take this seriously and make a career out of it. So with everything that I'm saying today, like just hearing it out loud, I know that these are big audacious goals, but I think that that's what the producer community deserves. You know, I'm saying this on record right now because I want to be held accountable. I want the company to be held accountable, because I believe that the next wave of producers, they need that technology, that software, and all those things delivered to them. They deserve that. And I think as a company, we can definitely deliver upon that. So I'm just really, really excited about what's next to come. We're looking for some feedback from you guys in the community. We want to know what tutorials, what interviews, what content we should be putting on this channel. And as a thank you for commenting, we're going to be giving away a few free copies of Octave Deluxe. So comment below. Like every other YouTuber out there, like and subscribe. We really appreciate the support, and we'll see you soon.
So this is the lo-fi expansion pack.
Best part about this plugin is it's not super complicated.
This is definitely becoming one of my favorite.
Every sound, you know, can really be utilized. I know producers from all over the world are gonna love it.
There's just a little bit of extra sauce on there. There's a little bit of extra seasoning on these sounds.
And once you have an octave set, everything else is super easy.